Hi, I'm Jamey from Stonemeyer Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in the game Altered, which, as of the recording, this game is currently on Kickstarter. I got to play the game on Board Game Arena because during the Kickstarter campaign, they put a few starter decks of this game on Board Game Arena. There was also a broader topic to talk about the trading card element in this game and some interesting, innovative things this company is doing with that element of this game. Today, I'm just here to talk about game mechanisms. And there are two that I want to discuss. The first is well, I'll give you a quick overview of the game first. It is a dueling style game, but you are not trying to reduce your opponent's life to zero or to kill their creatures, anything like that. Rather, it is a tug of war style game. You can see right here where you are trying to get your tokens. I played green, I believe. You're trying to get your tokens, one token over here, one token over here, to intersect with each other before the opponent's tokens can intersect. And the way that you're doing this is you're playing cards from your hand or from your reserve, which I'll get to in a moment, onto either this side of the board or this side of the board. And if you win at least one of the three categories on that side, so for example, if I was trying to move from a mountain territory and I had more mountain resources than my opponent, in this case right now my opponent has more mountain resources than I do, then I would get to move to the next card. So it's a kind of a temporary area majority game where you're trying to have more of the categories that matter for your current placement of your token, and then you get to advance and eventually you get to have your tokens collide if you can win the game. The game that I ended up playing on Board Game Arena with these two starter decks was very close, came down to the very last turn. And so this is actually one of my favorite mechanisms, this tug of war element, where you have this tug of war track where you're trying to get your tokens to collide, but also that every turn, every card you play adds tension to the game because you are trying to have more of the resources that matter for that current turn than your opponent, so that your token advances, but their token doesn't advance. Really clever mechanism there, where plenty of interaction with the opponent there, but you're not destroying something that the opponent created, which I think is great. My favorite mechanism of the game, though, I think is the fact that you can play cards from your reserve. Let me pull up a card here. Here's this is my hero that I was playing with. I don't have a bigger image of a card, but you can kind of see smaller images of the cards down here. Here are two cards that I played. And you can see on these cards, there's two different costs in the upper left. One is this blue cost. In fact, this is a better example. This is the blue cost. This is the amount of mana that you need to pay from your ever-increasing supply of mana to play the card from your hand. And you choose to play it over here or play it over here. And it often gives you a benefit, some core benefits over here on the left. And often cards have a special ability as well. However, at the end of your turn, this card goes away. The cards, unless they say otherwise, they don't stay in play. Rather, they're discarded to your reserve. And in your reserve, on your turn, you can play from your hand or your reserve. And the reserve cost is often less than the play from hand cost. So once this card goes to reserve, I can play it again for the cost of 2. And when I do that, it gets a little token on it that says the next time you discard this card at the end of this turn, probably, it goes away. It does not go to your reserve. It goes to a true discard pile at that point. But I love this idea that you're playing cards twice. You get to play cards from your hand. You get that comes into play benefit. You get the benefit, their core stat benefits, and then you get to play them again. And when you do that, you can choose either side of the board to play them on. You can choose to play them on this side or on this side. And oftentimes at a lower cost. So there might even be ways I haven't delved that deep into this game at all, but there might even be ways to get cards into your reserve that would otherwise cost a lot from your hand, but playing from your reserve, they're much more cost effective. I think it's a really, really neat way of giving you multiple uses out of pretty much any card in the game. And it leads to some interesting combos too, where you're looking at one cost over another cost and playing from the reserve instead of just your hand. So yeah, I think this idea of playing from reserve is my favorite mechanism in the game, but I also really do like the tug of war style interaction instead of the beat up your opponent style interaction. Those are my favorite mechanisms so far in Altered. I look forward to playing the game with the actual tactile, tangible game when that part is released. I am a Kickstarter backer at the base level, so I'll get a copy of that at some point in the future. But for now, I had fun playing it on Board Game Arena, and I look forward to playing it again on Board Game Arena while it's still there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the game if you played it in the comments below. And again, I'd like to focus on mechanisms here. Again, there's a broader topic about the trading card element of it. But let's focus on the game mechanisms in the comments below if you have any thoughts. Thanks.